Welcome to the next video on VEP. In this video we are going to talk about role of engineers in sustainable development. In the previous videos we have talked about various strategies for sustainable development, how sustainable development is important for the society and so on. So let us start. After going through this video you will be able to explain the professional responsibility of engineers in respect of environment protection, define environment leadership, explain environment leadership program targets, describe responsibilities of engineers for sustainability. So let us start. What is expected from engineers? All engineers should reflect seriously on environmental values and how they can best integrate them into understanding and solving problems. Why this is important? This is because projects, products or processes designed by engineers can release toxic wastes that can have detrimental effect on environment. For example, pesticides. Second one is some engineering developments flood farmlands, drain wetlands and destroy forests. On the other hand, engineers work on improvements to reduce or if not reduce to eliminate negative that impact environment. So eliminating and reducing the negative that impact environment. So all these things are important for an engineer to understand and take serious note of it. Caroline Whitbeck view in her book Ethics in Engineering Practice and Research. So what is her view? The professional responsibility of engineers and applied scientists for environmental protection, like their responsibility for ensuring public safety, requires attention to two sort of risks. What are these risks? Let us understand. Number one is hazards that have gone unrecognized, at least by some key decision makers. So these hazards have not recognized and that pose a grave or excessive threat to safety or the environment. And the second one is hazards that are a recognized feature of the situation but that cannot be completely eliminated and are mitigated only by increasing other risks and cost. So these two risks are important for getting the attention. Next question is why engineers and applied scientists are important for environment protection. So the answer is engineers and applied scientists, because of their education and training, are in a special position to recognize both environmental hazards and safety hazards. So they are trained in such a manner and their education level is such that they can recognize the environmental hazards and the safety hazards. Their specialized knowledge and training are the basis for the growing consensus that engineers and applied scientists have a professional responsibility to bring environmental as well as safety hazards to light. This has not only highlighted the role of engineers towards sustainable development but also led to the emergence of concept of environmental leadership in general and more specifically in engineering organizations as well. So a new concept has evolved, that is environmental leadership. What exactly it means? Environmental leaders are those who look at environmental problems in light of their own experience and moral values, are committed to leveraging their area of expertise to realize sustainable development in their professional and private lives, and exercise leadership in fulfilling their social responsibilities. This definition was given by United Nations Decade for Education for Sustainable Development or UNDESD. Basically, for this definition and the program, Japan has taken the initiative Sustainable Development Program in Asia, and in year 2002 The then Japanese Prime Minister promoted it, and later on it was discussed and the program for environmental leadership were adopted with certain targets. So let us understand what are the types of people to attain the sustainable development. There are two types of people. Number one is environmentally conscious citizens, people whose lifestyles have a minimal environmental impact, and traditional environmental education or education has focused on creating awareness among the people. Second one is environmental leaders, leaders who have the ability to make the socio-economic system more harmonious with the environment through environmentally friendly products, services, businesses, technology and policies. So let us understand the targets of environmental leadership program. Okay, you can visit this website to know more about the program and the ASEAN Sustainability Vision. By clicking on the typing this website, you can get all the knowledge. So what exactly it is, just see here. Now we are having such that all citizens, workers and community residents, and we are going to be transformed into this combination. What exactly this combination is? So environmentally conscious citizens plus environmental leaders, and target for this is 2050. All citizens, workers and community residents, who are they? So leaders in the field other than environment, people in established organizations pursuing greener businesses, technology and society, people in new organizations pursuing greener business, technology and society. Second one is conventional environmental professionals like nature conservation, pollution prevention, environmental assessment, etc. And third one is environmental leaders who can act with a holistic view of the environment, economic and society. If you remember, for sustainability, these three pillars are going to coexist. For environment, we are having these three terms. If you remember, planet; for economy, profit; and for society, we are talking about people. So where all these three coexist, then we are talking about sustainability. What exactly the aim is? Future environment leaders to ensure sustainability in Asia. Environmental leaders will be required in all areas of industry and all types of jobs. And who are they? So they will develop socio-economic system in harmony with the environment. And the second type of persons are environmentally conscious citizens, who will adopt virtuous cycle of environmentally friendly lifestyle, and impact will be virtuous cycle support. So ultimately, this is the target for environmental leadership program in Asia. Now, basic building blocks. If we talk about what are the basic building blocks for making environmental leaders, there are three things. Number one is commitment, number two is expertise, and number three is leadership. Let us understand what exactly commitment is. Commitment to sustainable development as well as an awareness of the phases and complexities involved for this sustainable development. Expertise is what? Expertise in areas other than environment like law, business management, technology, etc. And ability to see a relationship between their field of expertise and the environment and leverage their expertise to conserve the environment. So basically, expertise will be used for the conservation of environment. And what exactly leadership is? So ability to come up with innovative ideas for integrating this thing, socio-economic activities, and the aim is what? Environmental conservation. Ability to convince relevant people, build consensus, and move an organization for environmental conservation and sustainable development. Holistic view of businesses, policies, or technologies that encompasses environmental, economic and social perspective. So all three aspects are needed to be covered, and the view should be holistic, not in isolation. Every aspect should be visualized, and these three building blocks will ultimately convert the people into environment leaders. Now, what are the responsibility of engineers for assuring sustainability? Let us see. Number 1. Cost benefit and risk benefit calculations are frequent component of environmental impact statements. Analysis of environmental risk is often the official responsibility of engineering teams. They should make sure that goals of sustainable development are met. So, when taking the analysis of environment risk, this should be met. Engineers are expected to be honest. This is the most important thing while preparing reports for these evaluation projects. If the cost of implementation go much beyond than what our environment can afford, engineers should make sure that such projects are scrapped. So it is the responsibility of engineers to be honest while preparing the reports. Human well-being should be kept on utmost priority while undertaking engineering activities. So the well-being of human being, or that is the humanity, should be kept at the utmost priority. Only those projects, products or machines should be given a go-ahead that cause no harm to environment or human well-being. So these are the responsibilities for assuring sustainability by engineer: being honest, giving the topmost priority to human well-being, and causing no harm to the environment. You can refer these websites and the course for this material and for further reading. Thank you.